It's every lottery player's wildest dream.
I'm Theo Roblin, and I won $3.7 million in the Michigan lottery.
And for a lucky few, a fantasy come true.
I love it!
This is our redneck mansion.
Doing Lady Luck has been sort of my own personal lottery win.
For most, winning the lottery is a chance they thought they'd never have.
I'm lucky to even be alive to win this money. I got a second chance at life.
Rick's always coming up with some new idea, usually squirrel-related.
We're fully prepared to be Black Squirrel ambassadors.
But sometimes, the lottery can take it all away.
To me, it looked like it just brought destruction to him.
I'm Theo Roblin, and I won $3.7 million in the Michigan lottery.
Theo Roblin's new life couldn't be further from his troubled past. Growing up in Saginaw, Michigan, he followed his father's footsteps straight into a life of crime.
I grew up as a welfare baby. I had choices, but I happened to take the wrong path and got into narcotics, selling of narcotics. It ain't what I really wanted to do, but in that type of neighborhood, in that environment, it was like that was the thing to do, and it was quick money.
But quick money at high risk. In December of 1999, police busted Theo.
Yeah, they came through these patio doors. They just broke this glass and just went right in. They just came in pointing guns. Get on the ground, get on the ground. And I was in the bed, sleep, so it was just commotion, and I laid down for him, handcuffed me, and that was it.
Convicted of possessing drugs and firearms, Theo was locked up for 5 long years, until he earned early release for good behavior.
When I got out of prison, I was lost. I didn't know what to do. I was like a shell shock. I didn't have nothing. I didn't have a car to drive. I didn't have this. I didn't have that, you know, so it was more like, what am I going to do?
He could easily have returned to a life of crime. But then he met Angel.
Well, when I met him, he was fresh out of prison. He was this big legend around Saginaw. The person that I met, he was honest, he was genuine. I felt like I could trust him just from looking in his eyes.
2 years after they met, Angel became pregnant. And for Theo, it was a turning point in his life.
Coming out of prison, it's just new life. Just knowing he's going to be born made me not want to do that anymore.
Theo's new life took another turn in December of 2005. Busy caring for his young son, he asked a friend to pick up some groceries.
I asked him, if you got $5 extra, bring me a $5 Easy Pick Mega Million lottery ticket.
His friend bought 2 tickets, one for himself and one for Theo. But they couldn't decide who got what.
And we went back and forth with that, and then he said, I'll just give them to you, and if we win, we'll split it.
It is, of course, the ticket that we all dream of holding one day, the ticket that made those 2 mid-Michigan men instant millionaires.
A friendly favor paid off big time.
7, 8, 47, 51, 52, and 05, baby.
Theo again hit the Saginaw news, for the right reasons this time. He'd gone from hard time to big time.
It was just, it can't be, but it was, and it was so exciting.
What did you do?
Oh, I fell on the ground. I kind of just fell to my knees and just overwhelmed. You know, I just couldn't believe it.
The 2 friends split the winnings like they promised each other and opted for a lump sum of $7.4 million after taxes. A cool $3.7 million each. So Theo moved from the hood to the woods.
I paid $316 for my home here in Hudsonville.
His 4-bedroom house sits on nearly 5 acres, a world away from his urban life of crime.
Welcome to my home in Hudsonville, Michigan. Come on in the home and I'll take you for a tour. 4 walls of windows, not just 4 walls in a small area confined.
Downstairs, Theo's got his very own man cave.
The pool table, this is the center of attraction here. Everybody likes to compete. I got some slot machines over here from Japan that I bought. I sit here, let the kids play them. I play them sometime. No, you ain't gonna win no money here. There it is, a hit. This is my upper deck here. entertain guests and family here sometimes. I like the backyard because it's private and it's wooded. You know, real tranquility out here.
The pool is a gift for the kids.
I got a built-in swimming pool, 9 foot on one side, 3 on the other. It's worth every penny and more.
And once the kids dry off, they can enjoy the custom-built playground.
I just wanted some tranquility, some space, some yardage, some air. You can look around you, it's beautiful around here.
In the past, Teo turned to crime to chase the good life. Now his income is all above board.
First biggest thing I bought was a BMW 750 Li, dark green, shades on the back doors and the back windows. Oh no, this is not my first BMW. This is my third. This one is the legit one.
He also splurged on a Range Rover and an RV for family vacations.
I got a second chance at life. Not only that, I got this money to take care of my family.
Teo's changed fortune still surprises him today.
I did ask the question, why me, why me?
But there's one big void in his new life. His family can't leave Saginaw.
It is frustrating. I miss them all the time. I miss them. I really don't approve of them growing up there the rest of their life. That's the main reason why I bought the house in Hudsonville, so I can try to get us all together there and try to bring them up in a better environment.
Trouble is, his partner Angel needs to stay in Saginaw to raise 3 daughters from a previous relationship.
The reason that I'm staying here is just because my kids don't have to switch schools back and forth, and they can graduate, you know, have a good start off to their own lives.
Can't wait for my kids and my girl to move back with me to Hudsonville so we can all be back together as one whole family.
Theo is an excellent father. He does everything in his power to make sure that they're happy, healthy, and just well taken care of.
Teo visits his family often, but he keeps most visits short.
Coming back here to Saginaw from Hudsonville, there's a lot of memories, not too good memories. You know, you get around these certain people and you might get in trouble. The old barber shop where I usually get my hair cut. What's going on? What's up, Dan? Hey, everybody, what's up, little fella? How you guys doing?
I know he got into a little bit of trouble, but did pay his debt to society. And just trying to get on the right track now. You know, stay on the right track, because he's already on the right track. Stay out of trouble. It's about the best thing you can, you know, hope for.
And Teo's extended family are just happy he's staying on the right side of the law.
What's happening, everybody?
And away from the drugs that once tempted him.
What's poppin'? What's up, Murder Midden? Murder Midden Records? What's up, dog? This lottery money, it means a lot to share it with my family and my kids, my sisters and brothers, my parents. It means a lot to have something that you can share with the people you love. You guys want to go ahead and eat something? Yeah. Going to prison and then getting out, you know, winning this money gave me a second chance at life.
Come a long way.
We were advised in the beginning that maybe I needed to load up my kids and just mingle with people like us now. What are people like us?
But for others, a lottery win can turn tragic.
So for all of a sudden for him to disappear, it was very mysterious to a lot of people.
Can annual lottery payments be inherited after the winner dies?
£2 on gold.
Damon John. Now,
Bring in your week.
I'm Donna McAlpin. This is all we know. Years prior to winning the Florida lottery.
Can annual lottery...
Looney Tunes Merry Melodies. Weekdays starting at 1 on Discovery Family.
That's all, folks.
Can annual lottery payments be inherited after the winner dies? Yes. A winner's heirs can collect annuity payments if they sign the lottery ticket.
Hello, I'm Donna McAlpin, and I won $15 million in the Florida lottery.
Mom, what's in coleslaw?
Cabbage, carrots, mayonnaise.
In August 2009, Donna McAlpin was a working mom, busy raising 5 children.
I worked 3 jobs for several years prior to winning the lottery. I cleaned houses, I managed convenience stores. It was hard.
Christina, you say grace. God, thank you for a wonderful family and finally getting our house together.
We just want to be able to be us. This is all we know.
The McAlpin family have a lot to be thankful for. It all started when Donna was working shifts at a gas station in Jackson County, Florida.
This is where I bought the ticket. I played a Florida Lottery $5 quick pick.
Early the next morning, Donna arrived for her shift and checked her numbers, hoping for a miracle.
We printed up the numbers. We got to looking at the numbers, and I said, I got all 6 numbers.
This mom, struggling to make ends meet, hit it big, winning $15 million in the Florida lottery.
When I heard my mom won the lottery, I was sleeping. I was like, no, she didn't win the lottery. We don't do that kind of stuff. It was amazing.
Within minutes, this overnight millionaire was on the phone with her boss, asking for the day off.
Told her, I said, yeah, I just won the lottery. Her exact words to me was, "You're me, you did not." She said, well, I guess you can have the day off.
She opted for the lump sum, and after taxes walked with $8.6 million. As the size of her win sank in, Donna was determined to keep true to her roots.
We were advised in the beginning that maybe I needed to load up my kids and move to a gated community and just mingle with people like us now. What are people like us? We didn't change. We just get to pay our bills now.
Even with millions, Donna was content keeping it country and stayed put on her 80 acres, adding on to her mobile home one piece at a time.
This is our redneck mansion. It's currently under construction. It's kind of put together here and there. There's no plans for it. We have a half pipe sitting in the yard. You've got 15 dogs. You know, the toilet bowl idea for the potted plant, that's not something you'd see in everybody's front yard. Have pieces of lawnmowers, between 10 or 15 vehicles, 5 to 8 four-wheelers sitting around. We've got 3 or 4 trailers and a couple motor homes. This is home. You can go nowhere else and get this.
Inside, there are even more surprises.
If you come on down the hall this way, you have another kids' room. The big goal would be to get everybody in their own room where we can spread out and are not up under each other's feet.
Hey.
We have 1, 2, 3, 4 more bedrooms down here. No room has a theme. I like the old look. From a visit to Europe I made 4 years ago. We've seen the Roman baths.
Her favorite room is the upgraded master bedroom.
Originally, the room would have come out to right here. I would say our congregating room in this house is a sunroom. This was originally a deck. Then we decided to close it in and make it the sunroom. This was the first room that was completely done. We do a lot of hanging out here, a lot of entertaining. We have a full bar in the back corner. Of course, this is where the bird hangs out. It is a redneck mansion, but it's ours. It's our redneck mansion.
Aside from doubling the width of her house, the next thing she did with her fortune was the last thing anyone would expect.
I spent $150,000 on it. It's an awesome car. I wouldn't trade it for the world. If you're scared of speed, then this is not the car for you.
Her Lamborghini tops out at 205 miles per hour and goes from 0 to 60 in about 3.4 seconds.
The first night we got it in town, I got stopped just because I wanted to see the car. We do live on a dirt road. Thank God it's got a button that you push and it raises the car up and down so we don't hit the bumps.
For the bumpier roads, she bought a brand new truck.
It's a 09 GMC Yukon XL Denali.
Donna's kids got a piece of the lotto pie, too, with a monthly allowance of $1,000 each.
She buys cars, I buy purses.
Some are a little bit more thrifty with their money than others. I've got some really cheapskate daughters, and I've got some really, oh, I want it, so I'm gonna get it daughters.
This is my Crown Collection dress that Mom got me. It's beautiful, and it's mine. Before the lottery, I didn't really worry about what designer this was or that was, because, you know, I didn't want to get my hopes up for something that I couldn't get. Now it's good to walk into a store and see like a Coach bag or a Dolce & Gabbana or a Guess purse, and to be able to get it.
The generous allowance allows Alicia, Sarah, and Christina to enjoy luxuries most teenagers only dream of.
So what do you want to do with your hair? I'm gonna get it trimmed, and then I guess if she wants, she can touch up the highlights. I guess I'm first because I'm sitting in the chair.
I guess so.
Mom got us credit cards. She did. It was a wonderful thing. It's like my little plastic heaven.
I love getting pampered. Before, I don't think we ever came to something like this, not that I remember.
But why is a $15 million win not all sunshine for the McAlpins?
I would say after winning it and then living through it, I kind of liked life before.
They could not go to school without being called names.
And meet a winner who credits his win to a lucky squirrel.
1 in 10,000 squirrels are black. That is rare, and when something is rare, they associate that with luck.
With the power of Clorox.
Ever since you drier than hand in hand.
Little dinosaur.
Between meals, so you aren't hungry.
And $15 million in the Florida.
New episodes of the Sylvester and Tweety Mysteries, Saturdays starting at 11:30 a.m. on DFC.
Hello, I'm Donna McAlpin, and I won $15 million in the Florida lottery.
After the $15 million win, Donna McAlpin and her 5 children remain true to themselves.
Even with millions of dollars, this is us. This is all we know. Thank you. You too.
There we go.
But winning the lottery has also brought hardship. The kids became targets at school.
I would say after winning it and then living through it, I kind of liked life before.
With a $1,000 monthly allowance each, the McAlpin kids make 2 times more than most families in their area, which brings them a lot of unwanted attention.
No lie, I would sit down at school and somebody beside me would be, oh, I'm gonna go home and tell my mom I met a millionaire today, or I'm sitting by a millionaire, or I used a millionaire's pencil.
They could not go to school without being called names, walking down the hallway and being made fun of.
So Donna decided to do something drastic.
It got to a point they were so stressed out, we took them out of school and started homeschooling.
But being homeschooled comes with a price.
You can't see your friends or anything. With homeschooling, you don't really know anybody. Usually, when I want to talk to my friends and stuff, I have to get on Xbox Live. I miss seeing my friends every day, being able to sit down at lunch and talk to them.
That's the downside. But recess is a blast.
We just want to be able to be us. We want to continue on with our everyday lives and be us. We don't want to be fancy. We've got nice stuff, yes, but we want to be able to be us.
And getting down and dirty is just the beginning of their new lives.
Come on, team!
Which is not much different than before, just a lot richer.
This is my lottery money hard at work. You see, we play every day.
I'm Melanie McQueen, Lady Luck from the Virginia Lottery commercials.
In her hometown of Los Angeles, Melanie McQueen doesn't attract much attention. But in the state of Virginia, everyone knows her.
Honey, it's a lady with a wand.
Let me see.
Where Lady Luck goes, the money follows. All it takes is a tap, hug, or kiss, and a windfall is on the way.
Do I know you?
As the face of the Virginia Lottery, Melanie, a.k.a. Lady Luck, hit the acting jackpot. Steady work for 2 decades.
Doing Lady Luck has been sort of my own personal lottery win, because as an actress, to be working steadily is a great blessing, and to have any kind of steady job is a huge blessing.
Lady Luck has paid off for the Virginia Lottery as well. She's helped send ticket sales through the roof.
So in 20+ years, we've increased our sales by more than $1 billion a year.
Lady Luck's success is all down to her comic character, something Melanie created herself.
Kind of nice and dangly. What do you think? You think the lottery?
Yeah, it's all dangly.
Lottery will like that?
Melanie came to the audition dressed very much like the way that Lady Luck continues to dress.
Lady Luck's kind of an upscale homeless woman. number. It's always a pink and white number. Sometimes it's white with pink. Sometimes it's pink with white. Lots of jewelry. Cannot overdo the jewelry. Tiara.
And her most important accessory.
She has a wand.
And a wave for every occasion.
We have the classic wand wave. Hesitant. Not sure about the luck. Industrial strength wand. Flourish. For extra luck. Hiccup.
When Melanie created Lady Luck 20 years ago, she had no idea that she'd still be working today.
And I thought, well, that's nice. That was fun. That was funky, and that will be the end of that. It wasn't the end of that.
Really, it's testament very much to Melanie that Lady Luck has endured.
It's a fun job. I love being the person who walks in the room and everybody laughs and everybody smiles.
Even Melanie's husband thinks Lady Luck has rubbed off on him.
Sometimes it works in my favor. Better luck parking, getting a good table in a restaurant when I'm by myself.
And the million-dollar question, has Lady Luck ever made herself a lottery winner? State law prevents lottery employees from playing, so Lady Luck can only transmit luck to other people. But to Melanie, that's a reward in itself.
Though I don't have my wand, I have the power at all times, so a little metaphorically, wand waving going here and look out your way. Now that should kick in within 24 hours. You know, sometimes there's a little bit of a lag.
We had prostitution, we had drugs, we had biker gangs.
A lucky win can change lives.
Winning the Dream Lifetime Lottery, it not only changed our lives, it actually maybe saved our lives.
But for others, a windfall can be a curse.
To me, it looked like it just brought destruction to him.
What percentage of casino jackpots come from playing slot machines?
Mark blade, shaving every day.
See, you can't put
a little.
And how much car accident?
Beautiful.
Will they imaginable ways? What percentage of casino jackpots come from playing slot machines? More than 60%. For Abraham Shakespeare, a lottery win changed his life in unimaginable ways, and the consequences were tragic. Most of his adult life, Abraham struggled to make a living, working odd jobs to get by.
He worked in orange groves. He always tried to keep him a job. He always tried to keep some kind of work. He would get up and walk to work, to the city in the morning. Cold and rainy, he would walk there. But that was just Abraham.
At age 41, Abraham was working as a trucker's assistant. Even though he didn't make much, he always found the money for a lottery ticket.
Abraham was traveling with one of his co-workers, and they were on one of their runs, and they stopped at the Town Star convenience store in Davenport, and that's where he purchased his winning ticket.
Days before Abraham knew he'd won, he was down to his last couple dollars. But even then, he couldn't turn down a homeless man.
He ain't have no money, so he came up to me. I reached in my wallet and showed him that I had $3. And I gave him my last $3. That ticket had already came out and I was already rich and didn't even know it.
And rich he was. In an instant, Abraham went from penniless to multi-millionaire. In November 2006, he won a $30 million jackpot and opted for a $17 million lump sum payment.
I was shocked. I said maybe they got him mixed up with someone else. He didn't act too happy or jumping up and down. He just acted like his normal self.
Abraham's mother was happy for her son, but concerned. He was never good at handling money and generous to a fault.
To him, people were just people. He didn't see that maybe there's some that didn't mean him good or somebody that was out to get him. He just trusted their friendship.
Abraham was always eager to lend a helping hand, especially to friends.
And I was having a rough time, and he was like, well, you can come stay at my house till you get on your feet. And we ended up dating.
Centuria met Abraham 5 months after his win. By then, he moved out of his mom's house and bought a brand new 4,600 square foot house in a gated community in North Lakeland.
The house was a dream house. It was huge. It was 3 bedrooms, but the master bedroom alone was like the size of your average living room. TVs in every room.
Century and Abraham celebrated the win with trips and cruises to the Caribbean. But with little education, his next challenge would be managing his millions.
He was illiterate. He couldn't read or write, and that was evident through talking with friends. Shakespeare was asked once how many zeros are in 1,000, and he said 2, and that told me that he really did not grasp the concept of how much money he really did have.
But friends and strangers got it all right. Abraham was besieged by requests for money, and he couldn't say no. Abraham became a human ATM.
He became Lakeland's stimulus package. He really reached out, helping to pay for funerals, keeping people out of foreclosures, helping to put food on people's table. This was the kind of man that Abraham was.
I have seen people walk up to us in Walmart and just start crying. And he'll be standing there looking like, well, what do I do? And I'd be like, walk off, walk off, walk off. It's a trick.
When Abraham wasn't giving away his winnings, he was lending hundreds of thousands to his friends.
I would ride with him in his car, and they would call him, and he said his phone would just constantly be ringing.
He paid one of his friends that he worked with a house off for $169,000. He loaned another friend $150,000, $60,000 for a semi-truck, $28,000, $30,000, $60,000. The list goes on from there.
In all, Abraham lent over $3 million to friends and strangers. He became a victim of his wealth. Whatever joy he had from giving became lost in endless harassment.
I think he was kind of miserable, you know, with the money he had, and people was bothering him about it all the time. I don't think he was happy.
Then in October 2008, a businesswoman named Dee Dee Moore befriended Abraham and offered to help handle his finances.
Shakespeare first met Dee Dee at a conference. She began giving him some financial advice that sort of made sense to him.
Centuria was surprised to see that Dee Dee had moved into Shakespeare's home.
One day I go out there and Dee Dee's standing out there, and I'm like, well, who is this, Abraham? And, oh, this is Dee Dee. She gonna help me sell the house so we can get the smaller house. I just brushed it off.
Shortly afterward, Dee Dee bought the house.
Dee Dee says she owns the house now. And I was like, well, you bought his house? She's like, yeah. What I'm doing is I'm bailing him out of debt. I'm gonna buy all his bad debt.
Then, within months of Dee Dee's arrival, in April 2009, Shakespeare just dropped out of sight.
During the summertime, everybody wanted to know, where was Abraham Shakespeare?
At first, many thought he was just laying low.
They assumed that he finally put his foot down and wanted to get away from people pestering him for money.
Some wondered just how far the people Abraham bailed out might go to keep the money train rolling. After several weeks, Abraham's family became suspicious.
And it got to where I couldn't get him on the phone. He stopped calling. And I called him and he'd go right to the voicemail, never did call.
The mystery deepened when his family started receiving strange text messages from Abraham's phone.
They were receiving text messages from Shakespeare. They assumed that, oh, he must be still alive if I'm receiving a text message. But some of the text messages didn't make sense because many people knew he couldn't read or write. It just was very puzzling to them.
If Abraham didn't send the text messages, who was the ghostwriter?
Abraham don't know how to text. So how is he texting us? Why don't he call?
Why does this couple pin their hopes on the luck of the squirrel?
I think this is the black squirrel we call Lucky.
This little black.
Learning to invest.
Without allergen.
It is new.
All of a sudden, for him to disappear.
In April 2009, 3 years after winning $30 million in the Florida lottery, Abraham Shakespeare simply vanished.
He was a creature of habit. He did the same thing every day. So for all of a sudden, for him to disappear, it was very mysterious to a lot of people.
Abraham's mother, Elizabeth, was frightened.
He would either call me or he'll soon come back. But after so long, I just said it was something wasn't right.
It was like he just ceased to live.
In November 2009, the multimillionaire became an official missing person. Investigators soon learned that not only was Abraham missing, so was his money.
Abraham Shakespeare is broke. A little less than 3 years ago, he had $12.7 million, and it appears that he's broke.
Then, 3 months after Abraham Shakespeare vanished, police got an anonymous tip. The informant led them to a home in Plant City, Florida, 11 miles from Lakeland. An extensive search revealed no sign of Abraham until earth-moving equipment was brought in. They started digging, lifting a newly laid concrete slab. Underneath, they found Abraham's body.
We do have something just below the surface here.
He had been shot twice in the chest, his secrets buried with him.
I would love to hear what he have to tell me, because I'm sure he would have a lot to tell me.
Santeria got the news from her mother.
She's like, he dead. Like, they buried him. He was killed and buried.
Police named Dee Dee Moore, Abraham's friend, as a person of interest in the case. She had taken over most of Shakespeare's assets, including his property.
The investigation leads us to believe that she pulled a con game on Shakespeare, convinced him to move his assets into a joint account, plus she agreed to buy the house and other assets from him, for which we can't find any records of purchase.
Eventually, Moore admitted to covering up Shakespeare's disappearance, using the phony texts as a cover, but denied killing him.
Their investigation found that she had possession of his cell phone and was sending text messages and making phone calls.
In March 2010, Moore was arrested and charged with first-degree murder for Abraham's death.
To me, it looked like it just brought destruction to him. That was a lot of money for a poor man like him to win from just a number. Because he was poor, uneducated.
Mega millionaire Abraham Shakespeare was laid to rest at just 42 years old. But he did leave behind a legacy, 2-year-old son Jeremiah. He's the only piece of Abraham Santeria has left.
A lot of days I feel like sitting down crying and giving up. And then I look at my baby and I be like, well, you know what? You deserve better.
In this case, winning the lottery didn't bring happiness. It took away a partner and a son.
I love him and I miss him. And I always wanted the best for him in life.
I'm Rick Wallace, and I won the Dream of a Lifetime home in Ontario, Canada.
Freelance photographer Rick Wallace is a quirky guy.
There's a cute one there. Look at him.
He's obsessed with squirrels.
Hey, you want this one? Here, take this one. I live in lovely Lambeth, Ontario, which is the south part of London, Ontario, Canada, and we take pride in our black squirrels.
Squirrels, Rick says, are lucky.
1 in 10,000 squirrels are black, and when something is 1 in 10,000, people say that is rare, and when something is rare, they associate that with luck.
Both of us tend to see squirrels as a sign of luck, the whole planning for the future and squirreling away money.
The couple needed all the luck they could get. They were living paycheck to paycheck in a rundown neighborhood.
Financially, my hours had been cut back at work, so we weren't doing all that well. His business wasn't where it should be. We needed a new roof on the house. We needed a new car.
When we lived here, we had prostitution, we had drugs, we had biker gangs. My own car parked in the driveway one night. Someone had smashed the back window. This here is a typical graffiti, empty storefronts. This is an area you would walk maybe in the daytime. You would not come out here at nighttime.
We'd have to guard our house and our property.
Rick and Sheila needed an escape plan, so they set their sights on Ontario's 10th annual Dream Home Giveaway. They hope to win big and move up to a better life. The grand prize, a $700,000 dream home.
We didn't have a lot of extra money lying around, but we really felt we had to buy a ticket.
With a single $75 ticket, Rick put his power of visualization to work and called on the power of the lucky squirrel for help.
I do believe in the power of visualization. I'm a photographer, and if I picture it, it's like processing it. Once I have it, I burn it into my mind, and then it's just a matter of picking it up.
Even before the drawing, Rick was convinced the house was his.
I was actually telling people, even 2 months before, that I'm going to win the dream home.
They had a little guest book you could write in when you toured the home. I wrote in it, "Great house, we can't wait to move in."
So when the day of reckoning came, there was no doubt in Rick's mind.
The day we won, he dropped me off at work, said, "Be prepared, I'll be calling you." I said, "Sure, okay."
I was at home when the person from the lottery called. They said, "Are you sitting down?" And they said, "Yes, you won." So then I called my wife up.
And he said, "What did I tell you? We were going to win." I was in shock, and I just quietly whispered, "The house?"
The dream home win was literally a dream come true.
This is the look of someone who's become richer. How about $775,000 richer?
Rick and Sheila won a fully furnished 3,000 square foot dream home, a Mazda Miata, and $25,000 in cash. Prize is worth some $775,000. And in Canada, it's all tax-free. And his lucky squirrel pin was right by his side.
We attributed it to our lucky squirrel pins.
The whole day is kind of a blur. It was surreal to just walk into this and knowing that all this was ours.
This house was really cool that all you needed was your toothbrush and maybe some clean underwear, and you had a whole new life. I remember the first night that we spent in the house, we woke up and we were both giggling in the morning.
But the win gave Rick and Sheila something even more important than a new house. It gave them peace of mind. They were finally free from the dangers of their old neighborhood.
Winning the Dream Lifetime Lottery, it not only changed our lives, it actually maybe saved our lives.
But the high life didn't last. They had to put their dream house up for sale.
The taxes are quite high. The expenses are quite high. Everything is quite a bit higher than what we were used to.
Will the lucky squirrel save them again?
With Rick's obsession with squirrels, sometimes we do feel a little over-squirreled.
True or false? You have to be an American citizen to win the lottery in the United States.
Straight super.
The people.
The winnings are tax-free. True or false? You have to be an American citizen to win the lottery in the United States. False. Non-U.S. citizens can win the lottery in the United States. And for some, the winnings are tax-free.
I'm Rick Wallace, and I won the Dream Lifetime home in Ontario, Canada.
Once Rick and Sheila Wallace won a $700,000 dream house, they focused on the best way to spend their other prize, $25,000 in cash. It was a big boost for a couple barely getting by.
What was funny about picking up that $25,000, and we both had to giggle, we deposited in the bank. The bank slip said $25,012.01. We had $12 in our checking account, and we deposited this check for $25,000.
But the couple wasn't interested in luxury items. They were nuts about squirrels. Rick had a vision. He believed the $25,000 cash prize was a sign. It was time to follow his dream, creating nothing less than a full-fledged squirrel empire.
Hey, I want some excitement in my life. What about you?
Sure.
He put the prize money toward mass production of various squirrel merchandise.
I know you were upset when I was thinking of doing these, but this is all paid for. Okay?
Rick's always coming up with some new idea, usually squirrel-related.
If someone wants to license the Black Squirrel trademark that I have, they can put on T-shirts, on anything. I say that what we do is we tell them that we're fully prepared to move and be Black Squirrel ambassadors.
Sounds good. Well, with Rick's obsession with squirrels, sometimes we do feel a little, well, at least I do, a little over-squirreled.
Christmas cards, bookmarks. You put a squirrel on anything, hey, it's luck.
One idea he came up with was the squirrel coin, the lucky squirrel scratcher. He marks it as an item of luck. You can also use it for scratching the instant lottery ticket.
And I thought it would be sort of cool to include an instruction manual how to use a lucky coin. We actually typed it up on the laptop that we won, and this book was financed through proceeds of the lottery win.
In his first year of marketing that coin, he broke even, so now any coins we sell, it's straight squirrel profit.
With the business up and running, a new house, and a new car, Rick and Sheila should have been living large.
Warmth, sunshine.
But just 3 years after their big win, they had money troubles.
The taxes are quite high, the expenses are quite high, everything is quite a bit higher than what we were used to.
To stay afloat, they sold their sports car and put their dream home on the market. But chalk it up to the power of the squirrel. Luck was on their side again. The house sold, relieving them of what had become a financial burden.
For us, when we sold the house, after living in it for 3.5 years, we got $555,000 minus the real estate commission, over $23,000. We still walked away with more than the $100 we spent to buy this house.
Having gone from living on the edge to living the dream, Rick and Sheila have found a comfortable life in the middle.
This is our house that we bought with the proceeds of selling the dream home. This house here is more realistic of what we need and what we want.
Winning big hasn't changed Rick very much, or his love for squirrels.
We've got anywhere between 3 and 6 squirrels that come see us daily. This is the black squirrel we call Lucky.
And Rick's not just banking on squirrel power. He's got a greener plan to continue playing the lottery.
Each one of these bottles here are worth 10 cents. If you want to play the lottery for free, this is a good way to clean up the environment, and hey, who knows, you might win millions of dollars.
Now, he tells me that in his lifetime he's going to win twice more big on the lottery, and I tell him that's what I keep hanging in there for. After that, I'm out.
In the meantime, they plan to keep their lucky squirrel happy and well-fed. Winning more money than you ever thought possible can change your life in ways you never imagined. Now ex-con Teo Roblin is using his $3.7 million win to secure his son's future.
Material things are not important to me as much as my family and my kids. I'd like to put money away for my kids' college fund and make sure that that is there. Whether they want it or not later on, it will be there for them.
Donna McAlpin's determined to stay put on her 80 acres, and she's proud of it.
Nothing really changed. We've got money, but this is our every day.
Dee Dee Moore remains in jail, awaiting trial for the murder of Abraham Shakespeare, while police investigate what's left of his $17 million fortune.
What everybody is saying now, when will justice be served?
With a big win in the lottery, anything can happen.